Hello everyone! It is so nice to be back here with you again. In the spring of 2020, my husband Koen and I moved to the west coast of Norway and we bought a very old house there that we have been renovating for the past 2 years. It is an amazing place in the middle of the mountains in the Fjords of Norway. So welcome back here with me again and I hope you will enjoy this video. So I'm going to update you a little bit on what we have been doing the last weeks, and most of it actually has been happening under our roof, both on the inside and on the outside of the roof. And we had some unexpected things here that took us way longer than expected. So it actually all started with us trying to put in 3 new roof windows until we started getting off the old roof. We first planned on just cutting holes in the roof and just putting them in. We had an entrepreneur who was going to help us with it. But as soon as the roof started to come off, it was very, very fast, very, very, very clear that we need a new roof. So we took it all off. Under the old roof there was an even older asbestos roof, which they didn't take off when they built a old new roof in the first place, which was quite annoying for us because we couldn't have to take off all the asbestos plates. Then they had to put in the new roof windows and then they had to build a new roof. The whole thing took time. The whole thing costed so much money we had hoped to spend on other things on our renovation, so it's in that aspect also quite stressful. In the end, the roof windows are here. We are very happy with them. They look perfect. The new roof on the outside looks also perfect. It's just one of these things, one of these bigger things that happen during renovations. And it was... So here on the inside, what we did was we finally polished the old floor. We had some guy come with a big machine for that to polish the whole floor. Now it looks like new. It's really exciting. We still have to do some details up on the borders. You have to manually finish up, but then we're going to paint it with protective oil paint, and then it's going to be another protective layer on top of it to protect it from water. So we're working on the floor. At the same time I'm working on the beams here. They all have to be polished as well, and then we're going to paint them the same color as the floor is going to be. And we all match this color up with the floor that's going to be downstairs. So it was thinking process of which paint matches with the floor and all the kind of stuff. So now I'm trying to polish all the beams. It's kind of heavy work because this machine I'm working, it only weighs 1.5 kilos, but if I have to work with it for more than an hour, my arms are hurting so much. So it's kind of heavy work. And then I'm going to clean them also, the dust is free, and then I'm going to paint them. So bear along with me. Meanwhile, Kun was working 10 times as hard as I was. It was finally time to get rid of the old ugly staircase. First the one in the basement. Kun also decided it would be easier to build a new wall for the laundry room than to fix the old stone wall, so he took this out as well. On the first floor it was more difficult to remove this staircase, but Kun got it out in the end. The next challenge was to get this big wooden column in place. Our future staircase will revolve around it, so it was very important that we placed it level on all sides, very well screwed on the basement floor. On top of the first column came a second one, so we made a wooden column all the way from the basement to the roof. Around this we will build the final staircase. Then Kun insulated the basement floor. Eventually we will do this everywhere in the basement. On top of the insulation came a new underfloor. The final flooring will come on top of this base layer. Then Kun built a temporary staircase. We needed something more convenient to continue the work in the house. This is also more safe for all the construction workers who will move through our house during the next months. The final staircase will be built in the end, after finishing the hallway. Then it was time to build the walls on the top floor. This was a big challenge, because the walls go all the way to the roof and are not always straight. So a big respect for Kun's 3D thinking skills. I could never think my head around this. For me it is really cool to see where the walls will be now. It really starts feeling like the future. This stage also meant the end of us living here in the house. Now it was time to start working on the old water drain pipes, so living there became impossible. But before we move out, I would love to take a minute to remember the beautiful way we lived here in this construction zone. And then it was time to start moving out. We needed the house to be as empty as possible for all the work that is to come. And we got help again from our amazing neighbors to move out all the furniture that we have been stocking there to their house. I also packed our boxes for like the 7th time. Since we moved to Norway in 2020, we haven't probably unpacked anything. For me, it's a very big challenge to keep living in this in-between houses stage. We moved back to the same camping ground as we lived last year. We are renting a cabin there, probably until springtime.
Hello everyone! So it is almost the end of November by now and I'm here finally talking to you again. Since the last time I talked to you, it has become like, it is still autumn, but it's winter. It is basically winter. All the leaves are off the trees, and today it's I think it's -5 degrees. There is this waterfall just up there, and I wanted to take a picture of it earlier, so I zoomed in quite far with my camera, and then I saw the whole waterfall was completely frozen. So that is how cold it is. I tried to make it short because I'm freezing as I'm sitting here. I still wanted to like give you like a summary of that update I just did about the renovation, so you're completely up to date with me. And right now we are moved out like I would say like almost 10 days that we are moved out, and we are living now in this little cabin here at the camping site. It is so good. It is so good to be out of the house. We have been living in this like renovation mess for too long, and it is so good to have a clean space with an actual clean floor and an actual like clean bathroom. You know, I enjoy it very much to have like a break from the construction site. We are also planning now, since we are doing the last bits that Kun is able to do himself. He's building the last walls. He's preparing for the electrician to put in the electricity, and there is also some concrete stuff that still has to be done, which I will probably show you in a later video. What the mess is in our basement with the concrete still. But that means that we are also now 100% planning for the construction guys to come, like the things that we can't, or there is no permission for us to do it ourselves, because there are several things like this. For example, you can't do your own electricity in Norway unless you are certified. You also can't work on your own, like because we are working with wooden houses, the rooms that have to be waterproof, like the bathroom and the toilet and like the laundry room, for example. You can't do this waterproof layers. You can't do those yourself if you're not certified. So there are certain things that we can't do. Then there's also, for example, we have to have like the tiles in the bathroom and in the entrance. For example, in the toilet there are some like tiles to the walls and to the floors, and there's a lot that Kun is able to do himself, but he doesn't know how to do tiles, and he, after working on the house for 2 years, he also doesn't want to learn how to do tiles, which I completely understand, to be honest. It has been quite enough. So we're hiring people for that. So we're now like talking to all these people, try to plan them in, try to ask for prices. We asked for prices 2 years ago to have like a general idea, and then now we're asking for specific prices, you know, like we want to have this exactly, and then we also try to plan them in, like you have to come then, and it's quite a mess, because this person has to come first, and then this person has to come, and then this person has to come again, because it all has to fit together. And then, to be honest, I don't quite understand it. I'm still confused about which guy is doing what and in which order the guys has to come. Anyway, this is the phase where I was looking forward to this very much, because in this phase we actually get to decide how the place is going to look and feel like. So we're going to pick like the wood on the floors, pick the tiles, pick the taps, you know, like we have to choose all these different things. And I was looking forward to this so much, like the decorating part and choosing how the house is going to feel like. And I had very much this vision in my mind. Like I really wanted to work with as natural materials as possible, like wood and stone and things like that. I also wanted to look to more eco-friendly options and local options. And as it turns out, now that we know prices and have been looking for those things, it appears that all these, like, if you want natural materials, and even if it's locally sourced, you know, it's always so much more expensive. I don't know why. Why is local wood more expensive than plastic? You know, I sometimes I don't get it. And I was really into like natural materials, but also I love the color like of brass. So I really wanted to have like brass steps and like brass details everywhere in the hardware. And now that we have asked and seen the prices, it is sometimes 2 times more expensive than just the regular, like the, you know, the silver color. It's not silver, you know, but the silver color, like the normal, like the standard steps. And I was so disappointed, because like I had this vision of, I want a house to feel and look like this, and now I see it like, oh no, we can't afford it. You know, so it's really it's a bit sad, like this phase where I was looking forward to so much, I find now it's extremely stressful, because we are looking to spend so much money. So it's like a lot of pressure to, I don't know, for me it's so scary to buy things with so much value, and also things that we are going to use for maybe 30 years. And you know, you're not just going to change the tiles. That's something you have to decide now, and then you have to live with it. Like I'm so stressful to spend so much money on such permanent things. I really find it stressful. And then it's also so disappointing at everything that's like, oh my god, the wind is so cold. Whew. And then it's also so stressful that all the things that I envisioned are much more expensive than we are able to afford. So It's really a disappointment for me, this phase. It's a big disappointment for me. It's a really stressful phase, and so I'm really stressed by it. And also we got like the, oh, I'm sorry, it's so cold that my voice is starting to and then we got like the updated offers from like the electrician and the one who is going to do the concrete in under the tiles and do these waterproof layers and you know, like all the things that have to be done in the house. We got in like the second, like the final offers of them, like the updated ones, like the things that we actually want to have done. And it's like everything is like double so expensive as we thought it would be. So that makes this whole stage of life run extremely stressful, because we're looking at like renting, like we're looking at taking an extra loan at the bank even, because everything is so much more expensive than we have like than we expected. Maybe it's the global landscape, I don't know, it's also gotten so much more expensive to get a loan at the bank, you know, over the past 2 years. And it's also not like we can stop the renovations and wait until everything is cheaper again. You know, we need a house to live in, you know, and right now we can't live in it anymore. So we have to go through because we want to live in it as fast as possible again. I think these are stresses that most of us, like similar stresses, like stresses about money and expenses and buying things, and it's probably something that most people go through in some stage or another, and so we're not alone with this stress, but still it's I find it really difficult to you know, and most of the prices are coming from here in Norway. Most, like the gross of these offers is about paying for people's time to work for you, and you can like I can't give like examples. Most of the people here where we live will ask like 700 krones for 1 hour, and it is without like the MVA. So there would be extra 25% coming on top of it, on top of this. I put it on the screen. So they would ask like 700 krones an hour without MVA. And then sometimes they would often come with 2 people at the same time. And then they will work in your house for a week, and then you suddenly have this price, you know, and that's only for 1 week work, and then some things needs a lot more time, and then there's so much money going to. But yes, that was my little rant about about the financial stress we have. But now you're completely up to date about where we are at and what we are planning on next and where we live and the chaos of our lives. I don't know when you will see me back again. I always say this. I hope it's not. I think it was maybe 3 months since the last time. Ooh, the wind. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. I'm really freezing here. But I hope I won't wait 3 months again. You never know. Anyway, thank you so much for being on this journey with me if you watched this video. And if you watched all the way to the end to hear me talk. I will see you when I see you. I'm not going to promise anything anymore. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.